Right? Let's look at a little bit at fear and the different faces that fear appears in or appears as. There is fear of failure, fear of success, fear of both, fear of being vulnerable, fear of actually being open to receiving because there might be a payback, fear of being disappointed, a fear of being treated unjustly. It's just fear. And I've seen that a lot of people racked with fear, anxiety. It seems to be prevalent in these days, in these times. It's like everybody's actions are being motivated by fear somehow. They're acting out of a place of fear, which means that they're not acting with the intention to be successful or to be productive or to be progressive or to have something achieved positive out of their actions. They're doing things half-heartedly. They're doing things with a sense of holding back, like one step forward, one step backwards, one foot on the ground, one foot in the water, or one foot on the sand, one foot in the water. They're really giving of themselves. They're not really being open to, well, I am doing this XYZ and I expect ABC. And I'm going to give it my all until I get ABC. Because they're so afraid that if they open up, if they just open up, that they're going to get disappointed, they're going to get hurt, they're going to get rejected, they're going to feel like pain. It's the fear, the anticipation of feeling pain, the anticipation of feeling the hurt that's attached to the pain. Because pain itself, they could be physical or emotional or mental, psychological, spiritual, physical. So there's the feeling of hurt, that feeling that you carry inside of hurt. My therapy cat, not really, but she thinks she is. Um, so let's examine, what does fear mean to you? Get a piece of paper, write down the word fear, and write down the first 3 or 5 things that you are really afraid of. It could be fear of commitment. It could be fear of being successful, fear of failing, fear of being rejected, fear of disappointment. That's by yourself. You reject yourself, or you reject you're rejected by other people. Or if you have a pattern of rejecting people, you're afraid that you're going to do it again. So many layers to it. It's really fascinating how many layers and the complexity of the human psyche. So many layers to it. But if you act out of fear, I believe that you're not acting with your own best interest at heart. Because you're not expecting 100% return from the get-go, so you're not going to give 100%. You're going to do it half-heartedly. You're going to be holding back, not really wanting to do it. That's going to be such a waste of your time and your energy, because you don't really expect much out of it to begin with, so you don't give much. So, what are some of the things that you are afraid of? Write them down on a piece of paper and Let's do a little round of tapping regarding fear. You can substitute any words for the tapping that you have written down on the paper. Any words within the tapping sequence for the words that you have written down on the paper. Like if your fear is, I fear of being rejected, I fear being rejected, I fear being mocked, I fear being laughed at. You want to do something, in public. You want to public speaking, and you're so terrified. You're afraid of public speaking. There's all kinds of fear. All kinds of fear. So let's start in the karate chop, which is right here. Even though I'm afraid, I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Even though I feel fear, and it is a lot of fear, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and like myself anyway. The truth is, I feel a lot of fear regarding, and whatever the thing is, and I don't know what to do about it right now. I'm going to choose to love, honor, and accept myself for who I am in this moment. All this fear. All this fear. All these fears lurking under the surface. All these fears. All these fears. All these fears. All these fears. So many fears. Where do I begin to count them? How do I count them? Seems to do this one thing is driving me up a wall. And I feel like I'm letting myself down. Because nothing seems to get done. Because of this fear. This fear that holds me back. This fear that is making me feel less than. Like somehow I just don't have what it takes. Oh, I will always fail no matter what I try to do. This fear is definitely holding me back. This fear. And state wherever in your body you can feel the fear. All this fear pulling at me emotionally, scattering my energy, scattering my thought process, making me vulnerable to even more fears. And boy, are they getting loud in my head. All these fears. This tug of war. These fears. All these fears. All these fears. Always have some water handy and try to take a sip after. And do this tapping sequence or this tapping round as many times as possible. I will make some more videos consequently around fear and the different aspects of fear and how we can get past them using techniques such as this EFT. There's a Sedona method. There's a combination of things that I have come up with myself, which works wonders. So this is about fear and whatever, in whatever form that you're experiencing it right now. And remember, it's just a feeling attached to you. It doesn't belong to you. Someone said you don't have copyrights to it. You don't need copyrights to fear. You don't want to make it your own. You don't want to bet it, as it were. Oh, because it's just a feeling. And it's a negative feeling. If you're feeling good, keep doing more of that. If you're feeling fear, it's time to change something. Because the fear is holding you back from what you want. And that's a statement that you hear all the time. You get them on coffee mugs. But there's some truth to it. In fact, there's a lot of truth to it. Fear holds you back from getting that which you desire. The fear has to go, because it's not going to help in the end. So until next time, peace.